Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really important report that asks a huge question. Can generative AI actually help us solve some of the world's biggest, most urgent problems? Let's get into it.
And wow, right out of the gate, the UN Secretary General sets the stakes incredibly high. He's saying our global plan for the future, the 2030 Agenda, is in deep trouble. He's pointing to AI as something that could turn it all around. But you have to catch that last part. It's the most important. It has to be done responsibly and made accessible to everyone. That's the real challenge we're going to explore today.
And this is the number that really just stops you in your tracks. 17%. That's it. That's the tiny fraction of the UN Sustainable Development Goals that we're actually on track to meet by 2030. It means we are way, way behind on pretty much everything.
Okay, so our global blueprint is in serious trouble. But then, just as things are looking bleak, this incredibly powerful new tool emerges on the scene, and it has the potential to shake up, well, everything. So, before we go any further, what are we really talking about? Well, generative AI is a system that learns from just enormous amounts of data. Text, pictures, code, you name it, and then it uses what it learned to create something brand new. Think of it this way. It's not just a super smart analyst, it's actually a creator.
And this is really cool because it shows you how it's all built. It's like a stack, a tech sandwich, if you will. Down at the bottom, you've got the raw computing power, the cloud infrastructure, and all those GPUs. Then in the middle, you have these huge general-purpose foundational models. But the real magic happens at the top, with the specific applications that are custom-built to solve actual problems.
All right, so that's the what. Now for the really fun part, the how. How can this tech actually become a supercharger for progress? Let's look at some amazing real-world examples.
First up, let's talk about our stuff. You know, the journey our products take to get to us. These supply chains are incredibly complicated, and it's where a lot of the nasty stuff, the environmental and social damage, is often hidden. And this is a perfect illustration of the potential here. Take Unilever. They're using Gen AI to look at satellite photos and compare them in near real time with data from their suppliers. It lets them spot the risk of deforestation and then, and this is the key part, build that insight directly into their buying decisions. It's all about turning a mountain of data into real, on-the-ground, sustainable action.
But it's not just about being a watchdog. Gen AI can actually be a creative partner, dramatically speeding up how we design new and better solutions from the ground up. Check out this example from Yamaha. They wanted to help elderly farmers in Japan, so instead of the usual long, drawn-out process, they had Gen AI research the problem and then spit out 2,000 different designs for a small electric vehicle. I mean, think about that. It just massively slashed the R&D time and helped them zero in on a product that perfectly fit a real-world human need. And the impact on actual human lives can be, well, just incredible. Look at this. In a pilot program in India, an app powered by Gen AI is helping doctors in rural areas identify high-risk pregnancies with an expected accuracy of over 95%. That's not some far-off possibility. That is saving lives right now.
Okay, so far, this all sounds amazing, right? Almost too good to be true. And as the Secretary General warned us right at the top, this technology is a double-edged sword. So, what's the catch? So the report breaks down the dangers into two main categories, two big buckets, if you will. You've got user risks, the kinds of problems that can hit you directly when you use the tech, and then you have external risks, which are the huge society-level impacts. And believe me, these user risks are no joke. You've got these black box models where even the folks who built them aren't totally sure how they get their answers. They can slurp up all the existing biases in our data about race, gender, you name it, and then amplify them. And of course, the big one, they can be weaponized to create deepfakes and spread all kinds of misinformation. Now, let's talk about the external risks. And this one is huge. This chart is pretty staggering. Across 22 countries, somewhere between a third and almost half of all working hours could be impacted by Gen AI. That is a tectonic shift in the job market, and we need to be ready for it. And then you've got the environmental cost. You know, this is a really big one. The sheer amount of electricity needed to power the data centers that run all this stuff is on track to more than double by 2026. That is a massive drain on our planet's resources that we absolutely cannot sweep under the rug.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. We already have a digital divide. People who don't have good internet or devices or even reliable electricity. If we're not careful, Gen AI won't close that gap. It could blast it wide open, leaving billions of people even further behind. So, okay, we've got this incredible promise on one side and this really significant peril on the other. It's a classic double-edged sword. So, how do we navigate this? How do we get the good without the bad? Well, the report lays out a pretty clear path forward. And it really boils down to this simple but really powerful idea: the means and the ends. The means are all about how we build this technology. It has to be responsible, it has to be ethical. And the ends are about why we're building it to speed up progress on those global goals that we're falling so behind on. And look, this isn't just some high-level philosophy, it's an actual, practical playbook. It means putting a team and rules in place before you even start. It means being really picky about your partners. And crucially, it means investing in your people, training everybody on data literacy and AI ethics. And you start small, you test everything, and you just keep getting better. And you know what's great? The report argues we don't need to reinvent the wheel here. The foundation is already there. The idea is to anchor all of this new AI development in principles we've already agreed on as a global community. These 10 principles on things like human rights, labor, the environment, and fighting corruption. So here's the bottom line. Gen AI is not a silver bullet. It's not some magic wand we can wave to fix everything. It's a tool, a ridiculously powerful tool for sure, but its real impact is a story that's still being written. Its power to accelerate and amplify whatever we do, for good or for ill, is absolutely undeniable. And that really leaves us with the final and most important question of all. We know the power is there, and it's growing like crazy every single day. So is it going to be a tool for progress or a source of peril? Well, that choice is ours.